Mama, I made it. I'm finally made it. If I wanted the greatest, I'm the God, baby. And numbers don't lie, but all of my stats stated. If you ain't talking, get back there, faded. I'm new around here, this the gen. I did this for your benefit. Don't so mean, it's belligerent. I ain't going with much due diligence. Being my tone look militant. So much like that's supplement. Being that I am the son of a king. My reign supreme was imminent. My reign supreme was imminent. One of my dreams, I'm living it. So I'm around like I'm I'm the on the internet. Know what you ain't seen yet. Keep explaining like the BS, but still like the CVS. Allow me to reintroduce myself, even though I'm worldwide like a GPS. I am him like capital H-I-M. They again like an internet phone. I ain't gon' tell no lie, but I ain't even much gotta try. I don't know why I got here and did this song, but it still came out fine. That's alright. So God, it don't put me in fight. They said I couldn't, but I did it in spite. I stay leaning, you can put me in Sprite. You know I'm about to take Tina and Ike. Bend the knee when this king on a mic. Slap a hater, man, I put it on mic. I bet you thought you was on top of Mike. Yeah, right, look, nigga, I made it. I'm finally famous.
Greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.
That was a major mess up. What's up, people? What is going on? It is me and Mr. Danny Graham, Road to Wisdom here. And we are here to talk about the new movie by Ryan Coogler. I was going to say Spinners. Sinners. Danny, tell the people where they can find you, sir.
You can find me on Mondays and Fridays at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on my channel, which is The Road to Wisdom. I should be uploading something tomorrow, maybe a little later than normal. I'm not sure yet. But you can also find me Storms Live on Sundays. You can find me on the Hangout on Wednesdays and sometime on OOC. And I think we'll be wrapping up the Daredevil Roundtable this Sunday. So I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere.
Thank you, Jesus. We are taking care of that this weekend, 100%. And the best time to finish is on Easter Sunday. You know what I mean? It's a blessing in disguise. I tell you that. Disguise, I should say. All right, guys. We're going to do a non-spoiler review at first, and then we're going to hit spoilers. So we'll kind of do it like we do the round table. And I'm going to ask Danny your overall thoughts of this movie, Danny.
Overall, I enjoyed it. Like I said, I like vampire movies. This one definitely was a vampire movie. I had kind of shades of Lost Boys a little bit.
I can see that.
A little different. Of course, we're in the 80s genre, but Michael B. Jordan playing two different people was pretty cool. I like that aspect of it. The whole dynamic from like the love interest of Smoke, the love interest of Stack, what they've been through was kind of crazy. Whole thing was it was very interesting, very interesting. And then at the end when they kind of did the flashbacks and saw them kind of put pieces together and things, and then the end scene credit. The first one I thought was pretty interesting. The second one was pretty much a waste of time in my opinion, but I can see where Mr. Coogler went back and got some Marvel actors because a girl that played Mary, what was her name? Katie Seinfeld? No. What's her name?
Haley Atwell.
Who?
Haley Atwell.
Yeah, Haley Atwell. She's from the Marvel franchise. Also, Smoke's love interest. She played on LOWKEY.
Mm-hmm.
So he has some people, different aspects from the Marvel, and of course, Killmonger played Michael B. Jordan.
Absolutely.
So overall, I liked it, man. Like I said, I like vampire movies. I've seen better vampire movies, but this is definitely not one of the worst.
You're gonna hate me, Danny. You're gonna hate me.
Did you fall asleep on it?
I didn't fall asleep on it, but boy, it took a long time to get to the vampire stuff.
Yeah, it was slow now. Yeah, it was what, about 45 minutes?
An hour.
Hour?
A full hour, yeah. because I had went to the bathroom and I knew it was coming up. So I said, let me go to the bathroom real quick. And when I was in the bathroom, I checked my time. I was like, yeah, we were an hour into the movie and we didn't get any vampire stuff until
I
then.
thought it was gonna be a little bit more time passed, but it was only like one night. So
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like kind of build up more to it, but it was interesting. Like I said, I didn't hate it. Not in love with it as I thought I was gonna be. I didn't feel like I wasted my money. That's one of the first things I asked myself. And I would go see it again with some people.
Unfortunately, I felt like I wasted my money and it got to the part.
Wow.
It got to the end and I was like, okay, can we just end this already now? Like, can we just absolutely end this? I think for me, like there was some comedy elements in it. Some of the jokes hit, some of them didn't hit, but it just took too long to get to the point, man. Like, and
Yeah.
I was when I'm watching it, I'm like, I could see so many places where you could cut out an hour and a half movie and made it so much better. You know
Yeah,
what
they
I
could have
mean?
cut out like going and getting the individual people. Like
Yes,
the brothers split up and they got certain people for the. They could have cut some of that out.
absolutely, one hundred
I
percent.
agree with you. They could have cut out about 30 minutes.
I'd say about 30 minutes that would have made it a little bit more entertaining. I think that was the issue with me is kind of the pacing was just
Yeah,
I
the
was like,
pacing.
man,
Yeah, the pacing was. I'll give you that. It was a little. It was a little slow, but I was. I was heavily invested in it because one, I'm a Michael B. Jordan fan. Two, vampires like one of my favorite. Vampire and werewolves like two of my favorite genres. One thing I didn't like. One of the best parts I think would have been better if we hadn't seen it was the one where the heavyset guy Cornbread
hmm
was trying to get back in. I wouldn't
hmm
have shown that in the trailers
hmm
because you know what it was he's trying to do, but you already seen it, so it kind of took away some of the element of the surprise.
I agree. And the thing too is like turning Michael B. Jordan's brother. They should have never showed that in the trailer either. You know what I mean? I think that was
I never seen that in the trailer.
oh yeah, in the trailer they showed a part where he's banging on the door and the girl says that's not your brother anymore, right? So
Right.
that's in the trailer and I'm like they should have never showed that in the trailer because now you pretty much know what's going to happen in the story, you know, one brother's
Yeah.
going to turn and all stuff like that. So I had a real problem with that part of the trailer too. And I said it many times. I'm like, you should never show that. Was it as predictable as I thought? Kind of, sort of, but I'm guessing the way it ended, I kind of expected something like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, that last end credit trailer was for
I
nothing.
didn't expect it that and I didn't see him. I thought he killed his brother. I,
Mm,
but the way they did it, they flipped it was I said, okay, it's kind of interesting. Then but he was not giving up that guitar, Preacher Boy.
yeah, yeah. I know,
Mm.
I know. Preacher boy. Characters were good. Well, like, what were your positives?
Um, I like the two brothers. I like Smoke and Stack. I like how they didn't care, man. Like how he shot him, tried
hmm
to take stuff off his truck. Man,
And
he
that was
didn't care.
funny. Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, I think Smoke had a bit more grit than Stack.
Yeah, I agree.
Smoke was definitely. I mean, yeah, Smoke was definitely the leader.
hmm
Um, stronger of the two, I believe. Um, the music was fantastic. Um,
Agreed.
yeah, every time and that cat, the Preacher Boy singing that one song he sung in the club, I was like, man,
Fire. Yeah,
that
I
cat
agree.
can blow. So the music
Only
was
problem
definitely good.
only problem I had with that scene is when they started mixing it with the different genres of music. I think it didn't mix properly and it took away from what Preacher Man was doing because he was killing it, right?
Now
So
I understood that part because I think they were trying to show how his voice or whatever it is could take him
transcends.
back in the past, in the future, and how they had like the
hmm
hip hop in there mixed with it, and then
hmm
they had the African dancers mixed with it, and they had the rapper and the DJ. So I get what they were trying to do.
No, I like the scene. I thought the scene
Yeah.
was fire. I did like it. I just thought that when they were doing it, they tried to mix it like each genre of the music with him singing, and the
Yeah.
mix part didn't work. You know what I
I
mean?
got
It
you. I
kind
got
of
you.
drowned it out his singing at certain
Yeah.
points. And I was like, man, he's killing it. You should have just let him sing through that
Yeah.
whole scene. You know what I mean?
I think it was silly how the Asian woman just went berserk and invited him in. Like,
Oh
what are
my
you?
God,
What are
yeah.
you doing? That was
Yeah.
stupid.
That was
You know
definitely a
it.
negative.
You know it's 7 of them, 7 of y'all, and like 30 of them. There ain't no
Mhm.
way. But
Yeah.
I guess he had to speed it up or whatever, because it would have drawn out all night. If it stayed all night, it'd been another 30 minutes.
Right. And I get it because they had to figure out a way to get them in there, right? And all that stuff. But yeah, I cringed at that part. And then another part that I cringed, guys, we're getting into the spoilers, so we tried to do the non-spoiler, but we can talk about it. Another part that really cringed me is the part with the brother, right? So you see him on top of his brother, he's about to stab his brother, and then the next scene, he's right behind the man, the vampire dude. I'm like, how the
Yeah,
hell
like
did he get there so quick?
how would he get past all the other vampires?
Yeah, you know what I mean? I was like,
Yeah.
wait a minute. That was a bad cut. I did not like that part at all. You
I'm
know?
trying to figure out who. Cause he said he's trying to get back home. So is that vampire stuck in time or something? I didn't quite get that, because he was saying like, whenever I change you, you're gonna help me see
Get
my
to his people.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like,
Hmm.
what? They kind of left that kind of vague, very vague.
Agreed. And not only that, right? It's
Then the
like after,
Indians.
yeah, after he kills the vampire dude, they all burn up because the sun was coming out. So I was like,
Yeah.
so like he could have just waited a few minutes, the
Yeah.
sun would
You
have
could have.
killed them anyways.
You'd have waited 20 more minutes. Y'all have been good. All y'all could have go home.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
why didn't they? If I would have cut 30 minutes out somewhere. I'd try and maybe let the Indians tell a story about how they get that head vampire on the run. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's kind of left in the, like, what happened? How'd y'all get him on the run? What
Absolutely.
was he had high numbers before, and y'all kill all of them except him? So it was a lot of unanswered questions. Well, a couple
Mm-hmm.
unanswered questions. But yeah,
Was he hiding somewhere and they found
yeah,
his lair or something like that,
yeah.
And then you're chasing him and then never seen again. Like the chase stopped, like you guys weren't chasing him no more. You know what I
But
mean? Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
they said let's go ahead and get home because they saw how dark it was getting, and
Yes.
so they like, God bless you, blah 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 blah. Let's get up out of here. So they smart. I would have done the same thing.
I
Hey, let's
agree.
go.
I agree 100%. But I figured I think it would have been a little bit more of a better ending if they came in towards the end was trying to help too with what was going on, to show that they are actually following these vampires. Then we wouldn't
Yeah.
really need to know how he got them. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, they've been watching these guys for a minute, and
But I
now it was the
did
time to
like
strike.
how Vampire broke it down and say how the Ku Klux Klan was coming for him, and this is
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, okay, that's because he bit the Grand Dragon's son,
Mm-hmm.
and then he got all his memories and said, yeah, they coming for you. You just don't know it. But I like that aspect of it. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. And then he had to take him out at the end. And I again, as much as I like the scene, I'm like, okay, that was probably not really needed as much. You know what I mean? But I get where they were going with that. I didn't hate it. Like I said, I didn't hate it, but I just thought for certain points it and man, I don't know, but it seemed like Ryan Coogler was like, "Oh, I don't have to do Marvel anymore, so we just gonna put some sex shit through this whole movie." You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Because there was a lot
Like
of
you, yeah, there was three. I was starting to took my grandson or something to say, Danny, don't do it, because I would not been able to explain Preacher Boy.
yeah,
And
and the girl in the
yeah,
room.
about
But I
nah,
just want to taste you. I was like,
yeah,
okay, what?
I would not have been able to explain that one.
You know what I mean? And then there a couple of sex jokes in, and I was like, okay, so you said this ain't a Marvel thing, so I'm just gonna put whatever I
Yeah,
want in it.
and then
And he
And smoking old girl.
Yeah. She was riding him and shit. Dude walked in and
No,
closed
that
the
was
door.
Stack. I'm talking
Oh,
about
Stack,
Smoke.
yeah. Oh, Smoke,
Yeah.
When he first met the girl from LOWKEY and bent her over.
Yep. And then so was she pregnant when she got killed? That's where the baby come from, or was it a child from their future? I mean, from their past.
I think it was a child they might have lost because before she died, she said, "Someone's waiting for me." You know? Yeah. And then I guess that was to signify that he died too, right? And he got to see his baby.
Now, what I thought the drunk guy was the head vampire because he was acting all fool when he taking that garlic.
Oh yeah.
I thought that maybe he's able to, since he's so old, to cope with it. That's what I was thinking at first. But
at first, I thought it was gonna be the chick that Preacher Man was with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because she kind of choked on it too at 1st.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was him, and I was like, oh, okay, one of them's a vampire. But come to find out, the dude didn't even get bit. It wasn't even blood. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know he was mad. Let me in here. Well, cornbread. He kind of stole that scene though.
Yeah, where he was trying to get in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like that.
Why your hand way back there? You should be having your hand, but you couldn't stick through the door.
You know what I mean? But yeah, he did. Michael B. Jordan, they said he tried to give him the money, and he grabbed his hand, and I was like, okay. But yeah, that scene was good. I like that scene.
Yeah.
I liked that. Okay, so I liked the action, but I found it was like Quentin Tarantino type of stuff where the blood was squirting out and all kinds of things.
Like, when he stabbed her, she was bleeding profusely, buddy. When Smoke stabbed his girlfriend, I'm like, Doc, she bleeding. And then when they shot him at the end, the blood just shot out his waist. Like it stopped. And I was like, but that wasn't a kill shot though. I don't know why he died of that.
Maybe the bullet, sometimes bullet goes other places and stuff like that. But yeah, it didn't seem like it was some place where he would die. Or maybe
the way he killed that Grand Dragon boy, I mean, he put about 100 rounds in that sucker. Like, Lord.
That scene with the truck, that scene was funny. Where he shot the dude in the ass, and he's like, "Oh, you shot me!"
Yeah, that was funny. It's your truck. You lying? I told you it's my truck. Yeah.
And that scene was funny. It was good to see that they had those two Asians in there. I kind of liked that. I was like, okay, so you got a couple of Asians in there, and Haley Atwell in there. She was looking kind of good too, to be honest with you. I was like, all right, not bad. So that was good. But her playing like a biracial woman.
Yeah, I was like, that's kind of. But my son-in-law is biracial, and so I can see it.
I got you. He looks more white than anything, right? Like her.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can tell, but in a certain place, you be like, okay, maybe.
Yeah. I guess I could get past that too. You know what I mean? It wasn't really much, but I was like, the scene where she went out and talked to them, I thought that was a good scene too. But when they started singing, bro, when they started singing at the end, I was like, oh my God, are we really doing this?
When they start singing and all the vampires dancing, I'm like, what
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, and that was some real white boy hillbilly song they were singing, bro.
That was one of them things with that what you call them people that be dancing? What do you call the cloggers? River dancing. That was like to me.
Yeah, for real.
That's some real river dancing right there, buddy. For real.
Yeah, for real. I was like, oh wow, okay, this is what we doing. Other than that, I think the movie could have been shorter, but did I hate it? No.
It was 2:15. It could have easily got by with 2:30. 2:40. I mean 1:40, 1:40, 1:30.
100%. I agree. I liked the part where he went to go meet, it was cornbread. You know what I mean? Cornbread took off his stuff like, "Oh, I'm gonna bust your ass." I'm talking about my wife like that, and wife was like, "How much
How much
money you
money?
talking about?"
Yeah.
You know, yeah, that was funny too. And I agree with you though. I thought when the first time Preacher Boy started singing, I was like, "Ooh, that's a nice voice." You know what I mean? Like nice deep voice and that. And then when he did that second song, I was like, that's fire.
Yeah.
That is fire. You know, I don't even know who that kid is. Like, I
I don't
never
know
seen
either.
him before.
I have no idea either.
I never seen him before, but I thought,
What was your preview that you saw before the movie? There was one movie I
uh,
really want to see.
mine was Tron. I think I only seen one. I think it was only Tron.
No, they showed Formula One with Brad Pitt.
I know, never seen that one.
I want to see that. That looks good. It's the guy that playing Snowfall.
Oh yeah.
Yep. They're Formula One race car drivers.
Mm-hmm.
Brad Pitt's trying to be his mentor.
Okay. Yeah. No, I never seen that trailer.
It looks. I didn't see. I never heard the movie. Well, I saw it on the wall. I was like, what is that? And then when it was before it came on, I was like,
Looks
Formula
good.
One.
Yeah. No, I'll check out. I'll check out the trailer tonight because I never seen that. Yeah. For me, it was only the Tron trailer, and I'm not. I'm like, I'm good. I don't like the mixing the Tron element with real life, like because they're in the real world. You seen the trailer for
I've
Tron, the
seen it
new Tron
before.
movie?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like all Tron. I like the original the best, but I've seen
yeah,
them.
yeah. So it looks like to me they're doing this like Tron getting into the real world stuff, and I'm just like, we'll see. Some of the effects look cool, but I'm not too sure about that one.
Yeah,
So, did you see the Fantastic Four trailer?
yeah, the one you
The
sent
new one?
earlier. Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw that.
that looks good. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, Fantastic Four looks like it's gonna be
the
good.
female Silver Surfer don't look that bad either.
Yeah,
She don't
100%.
look good as the first one to me, but she didn't look bad.
I agree. I agree 100%. What else did you like or didn't like about Sinners?
I did not like that second
End
scene credit. I
credit?
don't even know why they did that. No,
Yeah, I know.
no. 'Cause a bunch of people were leaving. I said they got 2 end scene credits and they stayed back. I think maybe me and 2 other guys stayed back. First one I thought was good. I don't know whether or not leaves room for a second. Maybe I don't know because maybe he's going to become the head vampire. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe a part 2. I don't know. But
I'm curious because okay, so I get how Michael B. Jordan survived, but how did Haley Atwell survive? I didn't
because they
was
showed it, he told her, "Come on, let's go," and then he took her out of there, and then he doubled back around to fight his brother Smoke.
oh, did he?
And then,
Okay.
yeah, and then we see at the end how he said, "Yeah, he made me promise
To
you would
leave
kill
you
me
alone.
if you leave you alone, to live your life."
Mm-hmm. I like the way it started. I like that they showed, him going into the church at first and then they did the day later. It
Yeah,
surprised me because I'm like you. I thought it was going to be over a period of time, but it was just like one night. So I was like,
one night.
okay, I like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the
But
dad
they,
was telling man, "You gonna go and find the devil, and he's gonna follow you home and show what
mm-hmm,
happened, buddy."
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And then I thought it was gonna be him dropping the guitar and we were gonna see him being like a preacher, you know what I mean? And he
No, he
said
would not.
nope.
He would not let that guitar go, buddy.
He said nope. And there was a scene where the scene where they're doing the garlic thing and Michael B. Jordan busts him in the mouth with the
Oh yeah,
gun.
I love that. I'm trying to save your life here, man. Put the gun down.
Yeah. He said, what?
Boom. Shut up. Yeah,
I
I
was like,
like that.
okay, that was good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think they did a good job doing like the two characters at the same time because they both felt like different characters. You know what I mean? They didn't feel the same. One felt
I
different
don't
than the
know
other.
how they did that, but they looked like they were actually standing right beside each other, passing that cigarette back and forth.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I
The
could
scene where
not
they're in the
see
truck.
any
Yeah.
kind of imperfection. That they look like 2 different people. So I know they
I
say they
see.
filmed it at 65 millimeter, and they say the way they film it is more easier for the eye. It's kind of like how the human eye works. That's
I
what
got you.
I remember him saying that in one of those things I was watching.
Mm, I got you. Yeah, I really thought that they did that stuff really good with the two brothers, like I said, and having Michael B. Jordan play two different completely characters. It's not like it hasn't been done before. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like Will Smith done it, but I think that this
the
was
CGI looked
bet
awful.
right, and I
With
think like even with the Will Smith, the younger Will Smith kind of still felt like the older Will Smith. You know what I
uh-huh.
mean? But these two brothers felt completely different. And that's
Yep.
acting.
Yep.
That's what
One
I
was
will
more
say about Michael B.
serious, and one
Jordan.
was more,
Yeah.
like he was telling her in how he loved her in the club and stuff.
Hmm.
She'd never be safe with him. Yeah.
And then they like one of them had a different voice. You know what I mean? So he kind of really mixed them up. Like the um Will Smith one, they both talk the same. They both sounded the same.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? And in this one, at least you could distinguish the two characters. So he did a really good job of that.
Yep.
Story wise, again, the writing is really good. You know, I never found myself except for that scene with the woman letting, hey, you guys get your ass in here.
Oh, yeah.
Other than that, I didn't really find that much bad with the writing. You know.
I would have popped her and said, I rescind that order. Stay out.
Said, just watched this today and really enjoyed it. Did you feel satisfied by the end? Go ahead, Danny. You can answer that one. Thank you for popping in. Much appreciated,
Yeah. Thank you, Miss
Olivia.
Olivia. Yeah, I was
Absolutely.
satisfied with the movie. I was satisfied with it. The first end scene credit. The second one made me mad. 'Cause I'm like, man, I'll sit here another 10 minutes just to see him sing. But the first episode, the first end scene credit I thought was really cool. And then it shows a little bit more how he survived. Now you can see them transition. I think it started off in 1932. Then when the
Hmm.
man was old, that was what, 1980 something maybe? Because he had
1992 it went to, yeah.
the big um name ring on stacks.
Yeah. Hmm.
Now one thing it's my understanding when from the vampires in the past, once you get changed, that's how you stay. So how does hair grow? And he had a high top fade.
Um, I guess they kind of changed some of the rules, I guess, or
Oh
maybe you can
yeah,
still grow hair.
yeah.
You know,
I mean, she was sucking on a lollipop. I'm like, I didn't think vampires could eat and do it, but I guess.
Yeah. Was I satisfied with the end? I was satisfied that it ended, to be honest with you.
Well,
Again, I didn't think the movie was horrible. I just thought it really, like, you really could have cut out a lot of that movie. I thought the first half of the movie was kind of boring until the action started, which was like interesting, you know. And I like the fact that, you know, she knew what was going on. You know what I mean? Like, old girl from Loki, like she knew what was going on. You know what I
yeah,
mean? She's like, hold
yeah,
on. When Cornbread tried to get in there, she said, hold on, wait a
yeah.
minute. You
You
know?
dead. You dead, ain't you? Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And then she poured the garlic on smoke
On smoke. No
on smoke. No,
stacks.
stacks, right? And made him run out of there too. So I thought that was good too. So I like the fact that she knew what was going on. And you know, usually when they have movies like that where someone knows what's going on, you have some naysayer in there like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. But everybody was on point at that part. Like,
Yeah,
wait a minute,
'cause they
you know?
saw stacks die.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, man, how you feeling? You know that ain't right. Now your brother just died in your arms, and he up talking, and
Uh-huh. Yeah. And then you shot that girl and she just got up and ran
yep,
away. You know what I
start
mean?
laughing. We
And
gonna
so
kill you all. Oh yeah,
we're
it's
gonna
time.
kill you. Oh,
Yeah, it's time to bunker down now, buddy.
yeah, absolutely. There was one scene though in the beginning where when he's talking to the preacher and they kept showing like a kind of like demon type of thing. It looked
Yeah,
like the preacher was turning into a demon. I wonder if they're gonna touch on that or if there's gonna be another one where they
I
kind of
don't
touch
think.
on
I
it.
think it was him because remember he said at the end when he's talking to Stacks, he's like, um, I keep dreaming about that day over and over and again, and I can't move.
Hmm.
And then and up until the nighttime, it was the best day of my life.
Yeah.
But he was saying that when he thinks about it, it makes him freeze. I think when they showed the flashes, he was seeing in his mind all that crazy stuff that
What was
happened.
going on? Mhm.
Yeah. When I
Yeah.
second burst into flames and all that crazy stuff, I was like, yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Absolutely. And I was curious to know, like you said, with the vampire and the music and stuff and what he wanted him to do, like if it was really like to die or to bring people back to life. Because the way they made it seem like the music was able to transcend life and death.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
They were saying in some communities it would heal, but in
mhm.
some communities it also attracted evil.
Yes.
And so because he said he could sense and hear that guy's voice. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's crazy.
Like they stuck to a lot of the vampire tropes, which was good. You know, the head vampire, and I'm glad they didn't do, because usually when they do the head vampire stuff, then you kill the head vampire and everybody turns
Yeah,
back to normal. I'm glad
yeah,
they didn't do that. You know,
yeah.
I'm glad they
I
didn't do that. But
I thought
yeah,
I
go
thought they
ahead.
would have done that. I thought it was probably been the only way to save stacks, but hey,
Hmm.
what they did was cool too. I wish Smoke wouldn't have died, but hey,
I agree. Oliver said, I agree this film had some trimmable fat. Did you both enjoy the music in the film? The young man playing Sammy had an incredible voice. I love the music brought the past and future together. That's what we said earlier, Olivia. Like Stax was on point, bro. Sammy was on point. Music was fire. Music was really good. Danny?
yeah, I agree. Sammy, that song he sung killed it, buddy.
I agree.
You
I
know,
agree.
yeah, he was. I'm trying to see who he is.
Right,
Um,
because I never knew that guy before this, and I'll be honest with you, he did an amazing job. And you're right. So I talked about it earlier where we said I really enjoyed that club scene where he's singing and they're mixing the future and the past. I just think that when they tried to mix the music together, they drowned out his voice, and I wanted to hear him. You know what I mean? Like I wanted to hear him just rail through that whole scene. But that scene was great. I really enjoyed that scene where they're going through the club and you're seeing the hip hop, you're seeing the African dance, you're seeing this. I thought that scene was absolutely great. Like well put together scene. That I give it. Did you find him, Danny?
I'm trying to look at it.
Let's see. And if you know who it is, let us know, because I never seen him before.
His name is
Um,
Miles Canton. I don't
Miles
know.
Canton.
Yeah, that's the actor's
Yeah,
name.
yeah, I see him there. I see him there. What's he in? Anything else? I don't remember seeing him in anything else.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's known for Sinners is his first movie. Good job. Definitely a good job. I would definitely like to see him play maybe old R&B legend. I believe this was his acting debut, the man that plays Sammy. Yeah, yeah, I just seen that. And he was great.
I think he's like on America's Most Talented. I think I've seen him
Uh,
pictures and like he's on America's Most Talent or maybe something like Star Search or something.
Interesting. Well, he
Yeah.
definitely did a good job, and I would really like to see him like play an old school R&B singer with that type of voice. You know what I mean? Maybe they do a Otis Redding or a Al Green documentary. He would be good. He
Yeah.
would be good as one of those guys because he can rail. And yeah, the music in that was great. That's one thing I say about this movie is, and I'm an old school guy. I love all those old school type of music, you know, Muddy Waters, all that stuff. And I think the music was really on point for this movie. I think they did a good job.
Yeah. They're gonna get an award for that soundtrack, I guarantee you. Or
I,
nominated, maybe an award, but they definitely get a nomination.
it should 100%. It definitely should, you know. So
You think Michael
yeah,
B. Jordan get nominated? Best actor?
I'd have to wait and see what else is coming out this year. But I think okay, so Jonathan Majors was really good in Magazine Dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Michael B. Jordan was really good playing two different characters. I could see both of them getting a nod. Well, Jonathan Majors should get a nod, but we know he won't, right? Because of what
Yeah.
happened. But
Yeah.
yeah, Michael B. Jordan definitely did a good job. So I would say yeah. I would say yeah. I'd give him definitely a nomination for best actor. Yeah, you probably give him a nomination for best actor and best supporting actor. To be honest with you, you know what I mean? Because you can say Stack was the and supporting
I
actor
think
was
I think
Smoke.
Smoke's girlfriend should get it for a supporting actress. I thought she really did a really good job.
She was good. She was good. You know, I love the scene where she first gets into the club and they're like, "Hey, why are you here?" And she's like, "She's family." You know what I mean? So that
Yeah.
that scene was good. That scene where they first came to the club, the vampires, where they first came to the club and they had that
Yeah.
conversation. I really enjoyed that scene. You know what I mean? Because I think sometimes when you see these kind of scenes, it's like, oh yeah, well, you're gonna lose money. Okay, let's get these guys in, and then that's when it pops off, But they're like, nah, they did it very well, that scene,
Yeah.
And I knew, I knew Stack was gonna wanna let them in. He was complaining about the money all night, and I'm like, okay, so this is where it's gonna Stack is gonna be the one to let them in. I didn't know how he was gonna do it, but then he let
No,
his girl go out there.
Smoke complaining about the money.
Yeah,
Stack,
Smoke.
yeah, Stack and who was the other female? Was it Smoke's girlfriend? They were the one that
Yeah.
trying. You remember they gave him like IOUs and them wooden pennies? And all
Yeah,
that
yeah,
kind of stuff?
yeah.
They were,
Yeah.
The way I keep it in my head, Smoke had on the blue hat, Stack had on the burgundy hat. That's how I keep it in my head.
Yeah, until halfway through the movie where they took off the hats.
No, but I knew Stack got killed, so I know Stack was
Yeah.
a vampire, Smoke was a
Yeah.
civilian. So that's how I keep it in my head.
Yeah. So when they did that scene and then she went out there, I thought that was a pretty good scene too. She was trying to play back. She pulled out the gun and was like, "Oh no, you guys come in here!" And then boy, she said, "I don't know if either of you have watched Power, but Smoke gave me Ghost vibes with the way he was." The way he was the brains of the operation, and Stack gave me Tommy with his personality, focused persona.
Olivia, you get the hand clap. That is a very good analogy. Somebody on this panel don't like power. I don't know who it is.
Me neither. I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Who
That's a
we
very good
talking about?
analogy. That's definitely Ghost and Tommy.
Yeah, power is not my thing. I'm more into. Listen, I like the stuff. I like, sometimes we get into the gangster stuff. I'm just tired of seeing it all the time. I want to see our people get uplifted in movies, and that's why.
I get what you're saying, but it was very well done, very well. And I'll be glad when they bring back the third season of Tommy Force. Because
I
I'm telling
got you.
you, he took it to a different level after Ghost got killed.
And that's one of the reasons why I don't want to completely crap on this movie is because, there's so many movies where we're slaves, where we're this and we're that. It's great to see us go out of our genre, you know what I mean, and do something different. Vampire movies. Jordan Peele, he's doing all types of horror movies and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So that's what I really like. I love the fact that we're branching out. Now we just need a black kind of Star Wars movie and we Gucci. I
don't know who's gonna pull that off, but that'll be amazing.
I'm sure we got someone out there that could do that. You know what I mean? Like,
but we play old movies in my theater, and they had on the wall. They're playing later on this month, Revenge of the Sith. I saw the poster hanging. I was like, man,
the 25th, the 25th of this month. Yeah, me and my son are gonna go see it for sure. Because the last time he seen it in theater, it was like 3.
And man, they're gonna play the Wizard of Oz in the theaters. I was like, what?
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I'm good.
I think it's celebrating its 40th anniversary. I think it was 40th.
Said, man, we had Lovecraft Country. Yo, Lovecraft Country. You're right. And I can't believe I forget about that because Lovecraft Country was fire. Someone on the panel didn't watch it. We tried to get him to watch it.
I watched like the first 5 or 6 episodes, but then life happened.
We stopped. Yeah, we stopped watching it. You know what I mean?
But man, that doggone things chasing me in the woods, man. I was like, oh yeah,
It wasn't appreciated. It was appreciated by me, Olivia. I really enjoy that show, you know. And again, so Lovecraft Country is like that put Jonathan Majors on the map for me, right? And I've been a fan of him ever since. So the
Yeah.
minute I seen Lovecraft Country, I was like, oh, who is this Jonathan Majors guy? I know he's been in
That
other stuff, but I didn't see them. But that
then the
was
cat when he played the cowboy,
oh, you see, that's another one too,
the
right?
harder they
The
fall.
harder they fall. That's another one too. Yeah, exactly. They did the little comp. Now we did have Posse back in the day, but I still
And
think the
he made
harder they fall
Magnificent
is better
Seven.
than Posse. And Magnificent Seven was good too.
I don't know about that now. Posse was ahead of his time. To me, it was. I was
It
like,
was. It was. Motisa tribe. Yeah, you remember that? He said,
uh-huh.
hey, he's part of the Motisa tribe. He's like, what? What's that? He puts his cup up. Motisa. I was like,
Yeah.
bro, bro, you know what I
Oh, yeah.
mean? Yeah, yeah. Posse is definitely a classic, 100%. But
Yep.
I do love the harder they fall too as well. Um, the woman who played Annie Smoke's girlfriend in this movie, she was also in Lovecraft Country. Yes, that is correct. The little girl's mother, where she went to the future, had the blue hair and everything. And that's what we were talking about earlier. It was good to see that Ryan Coogler, like, because she was in Loki, Haley Atwell, she was in a Marvel movie. So he dug deep into his Marvel roots for this movie, and he did a good job. Like the casting is absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
There is nobody in the cast. Yeah, go ahead.
The guy that played the piano, he's consummate professional. Yeah, he's been in a lot of movies. He can be a
Mm-hmm.
good guy or a bad guy. I remember
Mm-hmm.
him in Gone in 60 Seconds.
Right.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah. And the harmonica, Delroy Linden,
Yep.
amazing actor. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, because he was playing the harmonica first and then he
Yeah.
went on to the piano. Yeah. Absolutely amazing actor. So the cast of this movie was really good. Like I never even seen the Asian woman before, but she killed it. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So she did that stupid crap, but she did a
Yeah.
really good job in the movie.
You know, boy, girlfriend, Preacher Boy, the girl he liked,
Yeah.
he
Mm-hmm.
did a good job.
Oh,
Everybody did a good.
when she was singing, she was blowing too, bro.
And all that dancing and crazy stuff.
Yeah. She was fired too. I was like,
Yep.
okay. So that's what I liked about the movie. He really did a good job with the music, and it felt like the times. You know what I mean? Like when you're
Yep.
listening to the
It
music,
felt
it
like the
really felt
30s.
like, yeah, absolutely. So I definitely enjoyed that. Is there anything else you didn't like about the movie?
Like you said, a little long, lengthy. It could have been a little bit shorter. Some things they didn't explain. I'm trying to think. Not really. I think we covered pretty much both sides of
Of the coin, yeah.
the
Like
coin.
like I said earlier, the only things I didn't like was like, how we showed up right behind the vampire so quick at the end. I was like,
How'd you get past some other vampires?
bro, that's the first thing I said when I was like, how the fuck did you get there? Like, how'd you
Yeah.
get there so quick? You know what I mean? Like, and past all the vampires. Like, wait. So that was the problem that I had there too. Other than that, like the lengthy part, but again, I think even though I was wanting a little bit more action, I think that some of the dialogue and conversations were really good. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So
I
that's
agree.
what kept me going a little bit, is that I really enjoyed a lot of the conversations in it. So yeah, it's definitely a movie that people should go see. I want them to support it too as well.
Yes.
Like again,
Yes.
if that's your kind of thing, you know what I mean? If
Yeah.
it's not, I get it. But the problem
Yeah.
is if we don't, then we won't get any more of these type of movies, right?
Exactly. And
And
this
I
is,
keep, yeah, go ahead.
like I said, it's not the best vampire movie I've seen, but it's not the worst either.
Agreed, 100%. And that's the thing. Like we gotta, if we want to stop seeing ourselves in negative lights, we gotta support these type of movies. Now I get
Yep.
it, like they're gangsters or whatever, but it's still a different genre that usually we don't go into, right? So the more we support, the more we'll see it. Like G20 on Netflix. Was it Netflix or Prime? Prime, right? I think it was Prime.
Prime.
I was watching a video. They were saying that was the biggest movie of like the year so far for streaming. I was like, really? Well, that's good. You know what I mean? If that's the
Yeah.
case, that's really good. And that's the type of things that we need to see. Unfortunately, I would have liked to see it in the theater so it could make money. But, you
A
know,
couple of those. I had a couple problems with G20, but more about if you just want a good movie, just like turn your brain off and just enjoy it.
mm-hmm.
It's definitely one to see.
Oh, yeah,
But there,
100%.
but there were a couple things like there ain't no way she could physically beat this man. Two guys in there. There's no way I could see her ever beating them straight up hand to hand. But
I agree with you 100%, but we seen Black Widow do a lot worse than she did. You know
yeah,
what I
but she
mean?
was Black Widow was trained though. Highly trained. This lady, she said she went on that train. She was scared and she picked the child up and they just happened to take a picture of her.
Yeah, no,
But
but
we saw her getting trained by her bodyguard. He was training
yeah,
her. I don't think she got
yeah.
that kind of training like special
No,
ops in the service or anything.
no, they do say that she was training because when she got to the guy at the end, she was talking about how he was there. I seen what you did. You know what I mean? She actually was in battle. She did fight, so she did have some sort of training, right?
Okay.
So, but yeah, but my issue with that movie was the end. Like, why the hell are you trying to kidnap the girl? You didn't know she had the thing. Just take it and go. You know what I mean? Like you got to kidnap the girl, and then that whole helicopter scene. Yeah, that was an issue for me.
Stupid.
But
Yep.
yeah. But other than that, um, definitely go see Sinners. Is there anything else you wanted to say?
I'm good with it, bro. My grade for it probably would be a B plus.
You know what? I'll give it a B+2 as well. And I'll say if you guys want just a good like popcorn movie, go check it out. You know, good acting, good music. Definitely go see Sinners. I'm hoping for a good opening weekend. It's Ryan Coogler, so people have
Support them.
him. Yeah, and people have him know him from the Black Panther stuff. So hopefully they'll follow him on that one. But how was your theater? Were there a lot of people in there, Danny?
Maybe 20.
I'd
20.
say, yeah, go ahead.
It's more than usually be on a Thursday where I'm at.
Me
I
too.
was, I was pleasantly surprised.
Me too. The theater that I went to, usually I go to like the big one, IMAX and everything, but not for
Yeah.
this one. And I was pleasantly surprised that even at this theater, where usually I'm the only one in there were a few people in there. You know what I mean, watching
Mhm.
the movie. So I was like, okay, so that's good. That gives me hope that it'll make some money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's good. People get off. I think tomorrow is going to do well for his
Oh,
bus
100%.
weekends. Yeah,
For the weekend, it'll do well. It's just still Minecraft is still kind of
yeah,
doing
killing
well
it.
too. Yeah.
Yep.
Minecraft is still, and that movie is so ass. What up,
Woo-hoo.
Poe? What's going on? Poe said I'm watching it this weekend. Yeah, definitely go check it out, Poe. You know, support it, and then message me. Let me know what you thought about it. You know, because again, at the
Yep.
end of the day, it's not a horrible movie. Definitely not. I just think it takes a little bit too long to get into the vampire stuff, but there's really a lot of good character development in there. So you guys will definitely enjoy the movie.
I agree.
Said Minecraft is ass. Garbage. Garbage, Poe. One of the worst movies I've seen so far. So trash, you know. But with that being said, guys, that was our review. Sinners. I don't know what we're doing tomorrow night. Maybe we'll do something. I'm not sure. But I definitely appreciate everybody that came in here. Paul, Olivia, thank you for popping in. Much appreciated.
Yep,
I'm
we
glad.
appreciate it.
Oh, 100%. Because I've never seen you in here before. And it's a pleasure to see new people,
Yep.
pop in and always,
Join us.
absolutely. My homie over here, Mr. Danny Graham, has a channel called The Rose to Wisdom. Tell them where you can find them, sir.
You can find me on that channel on Mondays and Fridays at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You also find me on the Hangout on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. And you can find me on Storms Live on Sundays at 7 p.m. And from time to time, I go on the OOC, which is Lonzo's channel, and we chat up a little bit on there about all different kinds of topics.
Said, nice to chat with you both. I'm a new viewer, but I'll be back to check y'all out. Much love. Oh, absolutely appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Man, And if you want a good joke, watch the show we did last night, the OOC. Go to about half in the middle of the show. I was talking to Roberto, but Roberto said, I never heard Danny laugh so loud in my life.
Oh man, I'm telling you, man. Last night, my stomach was hurting, bro.
I was dying too. I was
Man,
dying too.
my stomach was hurting.
Me too. It was funny. Paul said, Olivia, yes, Paul, always great to have, new subscribers and new people coming in. Guess we'll be doing the next thing I know I'll be doing will be the roundtable for Daredevil. I'm also going to be doing The Last of Us as well, so make sure to check that out. And we will be back again. Thank you guys for popping in. Much appreciated. Happy Easter to everybody out there. You know what I mean? Enjoy the holidays. Absolutely. 100%.
Learn your Easter speeches, go to church, wear brand new suits and dresses.
100%. And check out Mr. Dapper Dan over here because he is doing the Steve Harvey challenge, and you are on suit number
12.
You're on suit. You still got a long way to go, bro.
I'm joking. Hey, my grandson, he want to be on it now. I bought him a suit, so I may let him go on there Sunday.
Nice.
But yeah. It sounds like somebody was texting me there with my boy. He's like, Danny. He said, how you gonna get to 75? I said, I don't know, man. It's gonna be grace of God. I'm telling you. I don't think that's mathematically right. Cause I write down every suit combination I wore so far.
Mm-hmm.
Right here. And
are you getting close to not like
I don't think it's gonna work.
You don't think it's gonna get to 75?
I think I may be lucky to get to 40.
All right. Well, even still, you know what I mean? You're doing what you got to do, brother, and I appreciate you for that. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. No problem. But with that being said, guys, we will be back shortly, so make sure to check it out. Sub to Mr. Danny Graham's channel, Road to Wisdom, if you haven't. And there are a bunch of channels also in the description as well with some people that we stream with that are great content creators as well. So make sure to check them out too. Peace, love, and hair grease, and we will see you on the next one. Peace.
Mama, I'm made it. I'm finally famous. So that's in the face. If I wanted the greatest, I'm the dog, baby. And numbers don't lie, but all of my chat stated. If you ain't talking, get back then faded. I'm new around here, this the gen. I did this for your benefit. Don't phone me, it's belligerent. I move with such due diligence. Me and my crew look militant. So much like best self-element. Being that I am the son of a king. My reign supreme was imminent. My reign supreme was imminent. All of my dreams, I'm living it. No, so this way, I move around like I'm high and speeding. I'm the best thing on the know what you ain't seen yet. Keep explaining like PBS, but it's still like a CVS. Allow me to reintroduce myself, even though I'm worldwide like a GPS. I am him like capital H-I-M. They plugged in like an internet. I ain't gon' tell no lie, but I ain't even much gotta try. I don't know why I got here and did this dog, but it still came out fire. That's alright. So God, they gon' put me in spite. They said I couldn't, but I did it in spite. I stay leaning, you can put me in Sprite. You know I'm about to take Tina and Ike. Bend the knee when this king on the mic. Slap a hater, man, I stood it on mic. I bet you thought you was on top of Ike. Yeah, right, look, nigga, I made it.